Welcome back to News Today, and apologies for that hiccup, but the news continues. Some workers of the Volta River Authority in the Upper West region are protesting what they say is bad management of the managing director of NEDCO, John Nima. The workers in red armbands and scarves gathered this morning at the VRA yard. They are asking the regional minister, Alhaji Amidu Sulemana, to intervene. Let's get on the phone lines and get some more details from correspondent Rafiq Salam. Hello, Rafiq. Could you please give us more details about the workers' complaints against their manager?
Francisca, let me tell you that there were two petitions, and then both were given to the regional minister for all sending to the board chairman of the Volta River Authority, Kofi. What they are saying, the first one was close to the press, but the other one, they only gave it to the minister and expected that the board chairman should have it and then respond to it. So the first one that was disclosed to the media, they told us that it has to do with a certain lady who they allege, who is the administrative officer of the Volta River Authority here, who they allege to be the girlfriend of the MD of the company, who has been leaking information, who has been secretly recording staff here and to the MD, and for him to take action. And these actions are that doing unnecessary transfers, and then MD, the area managers, the NEDCO area has been reshuffled without any recourse to anything, and so the workers here are really peeved about that. And the second thing has to do with the issue of the conduct of the lady. They are saying that because of what the lady has been doing, they have suspended, they have made sure that some workers will forgo their salaries, and that's what's really happening there. And so they are petitioning the board chair through the regional minister to really act on that. And so they have declared this lady by name Deborah Sokari a persona non grata at the office. They are saying that they are not recognizing her as the administrative officer. And so this is what they have been at. But the second petition, which I told you about, which goes close to the media, has to do with the MD, the conduct of the MD, and which we are privy to, even though they told us it's not part of it, but we have been privy to that information, and which they are saying that the conduct of his conduct is vindictive and also intimidating.
Rafiq, so with regards to the MD, Mr. Nima, and this lady you mentioned, what do they want? Do they want them sacked?
The workers are saying that they are saying that they don't want the lady to be at the office again because they want her to be transferred out of the office because they think that they have serious issues to deal with. One has to do with the power outage, which currently they are working on, and they are saying that and they are saying that in terms of revenue collection in the war area, it's very low. And so they think that these are serious issues that the MD should be thinking about, and they are saying that they want the lady to be out of the office.
Rafiq, you've been on the ground since morning. What do you think the impact of this morning's protest will be?
The impact, Francisca, I must tell you that it's having a toll on the clients and our customers right here. I'm currently in front of the VRA, and I can tell you that as many as 20 people are seated outside because the workers are not at the moment working. So we asked them whether they have started the sit-down strike that they have been back on. They said no, they haven't started yet. But what is really happening is that they want to finish with all these meetings and then wait for the board. And when the board comes up with a decision, then they will comply. But they are saying that currently they are not working. When they finish the meeting now, then they can get on. But I have managed to speak to this lady, the administrative assistant known as Deborah. She said that she will respond to it officially because she works with her superior officers, but she has denied all allegations levels against her.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll see how that pans out. But that's Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam. Now, a former chief executive of the Volta River Authority is backing calls for the privatization of Electricity Company of Ghana. The ongoing energy crisis sparked a debate over the operations of the various players in the power supply chain. Many individuals and organizations kicked against suggestions that the ECG should be privatized. But speaking at the annual GJ Awards program in Accra, the former CEO of Volta River Authority, Kwekwa Wotri, said the ECG has become so inefficient there's no need for government to hold on to it.
In respect of the planned concession to be awarded to manage ECG, I must confess I've been impressed by some of the points that the workers of ECG have made. These workers are not easily fooled. They know what is going on. These are not people who one can easily pull the wool over their eyes. But many of the arguments they make about inadequate generation, about government interference, about rampant corruption, are the very reasons why ECG should be privatized and or given out to a private company on concession. What other sensible options are there, really? There is a saying attributed to Albert Einstein, if he's the right person, where he's reputed to have said, insanity is where you expect a different output, even though you continue to apply the same inputs. Why do we think we can get a different result out of ECG, of efficiency and performance, by giving it more or less of the same old things we have been giving it for the last 50 years? Why do we think we would get a different result? Why do we feel there is value in jealously guarding an institution that consistently leaks out over 30% of what we give it because it is for the people of Ghana? Why didn't we use that argument for Ghana P&T in the late 90s when it offered telephone lines to only 300,000 people? Why didn't we say then it was for the people of Ghana? Only 300,000 people had telephones. Took a person 6 months to get a telephone line. We could have said at least telephone services being provided by the people of Ghana. And even though many of us today would wish to fine-tune that privatization model that we embarked upon in the late 90s, is that what we are prepared to say today when there are over 20 million subscribers in Ghana and everyone from chief executives to the groundnut seller can afford a mobile phone?
So that's Kwekwan Watche speaking about the GJA Awards. We're staying with the awards because our own Seth Kwame Boateng was adjudged Journalist of the Year. And he joins me in the studio. Congratulations to you, Seth. How are you feeling?
I feel very great, and I'm very happy. I'm grateful to the entire team for the support.
Well, some of us who work with you know how diligent you have been with your documentaries. Just give us an idea, the road to becoming the GJA Journalist of the Year.
I started in 2007 when I joined Joy FM, and Matilda Santi made me aware that I had strength in that area, so I should concentrate on that. This morning I was thanking her for telling me that. So since then I've been doing features and documentaries, and I've come to love documentaries.
But the interesting thing is that you started as a receptionist.
Yes, from Love FM. From Love FM?
Yes. So while you were a receptionist, did you ever dream to become a journalist, which you are today?
Yes, I saw that as a stepping stone. That was what I told myself. As soon as I got the opportunity to work there as a receptionist, I said, oh, good, it's a stepping stone. I'm eyeing the newsroom and I'll get there. That was what I told myself the very first day. And God was so good. After several months, one day, Saeed Delali Emmanuel came in and said, follow me to the newsroom. That was how I started.
Okay. Yeah. So now, the documentary which won you the award is I Shake, I Fall, I Die.
A documentary I did on epilepsy, trying to understand what it is and the misconceptions and the myth surrounding the disease. Some believe it's a spiritual disease, and people, instead of being sent to hospital, are sent to...
You spoke to a number of people. Which story touched you the most?
The couple. You know, there's a man I interviewed, and the wife, he knew the wife was epileptic before they even married. And he went ahead to marry her. And they've gone through challenges. But he's been consistent. He doesn't have money, but he's doing his best to get her drugs. And they have 2 girls now, 6 and 4 years. And the 2 have learned how to handle their mother when she has a seizure. When it comes, the 2 are able to hold their mother and make sure she doesn't hit her head. And that was a high point in there, seriously.
That's touching. Yeah. That's touching. But some other colleagues were also awarded.
Yeah, Joseph Opoku-Gapo. I've been saying that I'm not happy for myself. I'm not happy for Kwetinate. I'm rather happy for Opoku-Gapo, Benedict Owusu, and David Andor.
And David
Seriously,
Andor.
I'm so happy for the 3. It's their first time, and it tells a lot that just try, do your best, and you get there. They did it once, they enjoyed it, and now see where they are. So it tells us that we can do it. It's difficult, but we can do it.
For you, what's next?
I have a lot of things I'm doing, a lot of documentaries coming up. Serious ones I'm unable to disclose.
Okay, quickly, there are predictions with your work, which we all know made a lot of impact this year. That's Locked and Forgotten. You went into Ghana's prisons to tell, you know, the terrible stories there. Many are predicting that you're already going to be Journalist of the Year for next year.
That's what they are saying.
What do you say about that?
Well, I'm ready for anything.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Welcome.
Again, that's Seth Kwame Boateng. He is the Journalist of the Year. We'll move on to other stories. And negotiations between government and the Ghana Medical Association over their conditions of service have broken down. Government has pulled out, saying it cannot negotiate with the doctors while they're still on strike. The GMA, on the other hand, says it won't call off the strike unless the doctors have been given the documented conditions of service. Health correspondent Fred Smith says the deadlock could deepen the crisis in the health sector.
It talks about how you are engaged as a doctor or a dentist. In fact, I must say that it covers doctors and dentists.
Okay.
It talks about how you are engaged as a doctor or dentist, what benefits you have during your normal working hours, which is 8 hours, and what you get if you have to work outside those hours, if you have to travel to attend school to upgrade your knowledge, what government is supposed to give to you to be able to undertake all of these things. It also talks about the fuel allowance, and that's no different from what we saw last week. It's been slashed from what the GMA presented. That's been slashed by about 50%, and for the various levels of staff. So not much of a difference there, because they've added other conditions that previously was not part of it. For instance, it talks about the fact that if you are out of work for about 5 days, you lose salary. If it continues for a certain period, you lose the employment. You are deemed to have left the job. And if you want to resign, it talks about the procedures for resignation and things like that. So this one is more specific on the little things that you do as a doctor or a dentist within our public hospitals. The latest we are hearing also is that government is putting in place some emergency plan to deal with the absence of the doctors, and so we should expect that.
Do we know what that plan is?
Not officially, but through other sources, we are hearing that we could get doctors, foreign doctors. Remember, we talked about it here last week. Foreign doctors who will come in, and then we've also heard from the health ministry that they are trying to engage the retired doctors. And in fact, that aspect of the that engagement is also captured in the conditions of service. So even before you are hired as a doctor, they negotiate with you how they're going to engage you if you reach the retirement age.
As the doctors' strike rages on, government has issued a list of quasi-public health facilities which are still offering services. Matilda Omega has been going around some of these hospitals to assess how they are coping with increased patient intake and joins us on the lines right now. Matilda, which hospitals or clinics have you been to and what did you find?
Okay, I've been to Trust Hospital where I've been speaking with the authorities there who tell me that the number of OPD cases on a regular day used to be between 400 and 500 back. Due to the ongoing strike and the pressure that is coming from the upper city, they are now taking about 500 and 600 and more emergency cases who are coming in now from the south.
Okay, so have you been able to interact with some of the patients?
Well, I've been speaking mainly with the hospital authorities who tell me that for now they don't have emergency plans for the numbers increase. But what they are dealing with now are the OPD cases and the emergency cases that are coming. They want to stay within what they can work with. They don't, because they don't have the space. So they have they have beds and they have the manpower to deal with any case that comes in. But they don't have the space, so the numbers increase. So what they are dealing with now is with the 37 and hospitals to deal with some of the critical cases that are likely to come in that they won't not have any space to put them in. So for now, they are working within their capacity as the number of cases can handle in a day.
Okay, that's Matilda Omega reporting from the Trust Hospital. They've seen cases shoot up by from 400 to 500, and we apologize for the poor quality of that telephone line. Now, the strike by the Ghana Medical Association is putting a lot of pressure on doctors in facilities like the 37 police and military hospitals. These are the hospitals in Accra where doctors are still working, and my colleague Francis Aban has been interacting with some of them.
Yeah, we are getting a lot more patients. There's referrals from everywhere. I mean, every second we get a referral, but we are managing. It's not so bad.
On a daily basis, how many cases more do you get these days?
I cannot put a figure to it, but obviously the pressure is high up as compared to on the ordinary basis, but I can't put a pressure up.
Okay. And when you say emergencies, do you know where they're coming from, for instance?
Everywhere in Accra, outside Accra, everywhere, including the big hospitals, Kolebu, Rage, everywhere, all the hospitals and then outside Accra.
I've been to the maternity. They say you're overwhelmed. Are you also overwhelmed?
We are, yes.
You are?
We are.
Could you explain when you say you're overwhelmed? What does that mean?
I mean, there are lots more patients on us, and unfortunately, a lot of them come so critically ill because they've moved from one facility to the other facility, and when they come, they are so sick, and then unfortunately too, when they come, they don't even have the finances to, buy their medications. So there's, I mean, apart from the physical stress that is on us, we are still having to, buy medications for them, try to solicit for funds, and it's not easy. But
what about space? Do the kids find beds to sleep on?
For the kids, at least, because they are not so big, for those who are not big, we are able to put 2 or 3 on a bed, and we are managing. And for those that are in small cots, sometimes we have to pair them.
But does that not have any health risk, considering that each person will have his own complications?
Under the circumstances, the benefits far outweighs the risk.
And you're ready to take that?
Yes, the benefits far outweigh the risk. I mean, what's the point if, putting the patient on the bed and treating the patient and letting the patient go because there's no bed space? Under the benefit, under the circumstances, that's the best we can do.
Even when you are leaving home and you are not feeling well, once you get to the ward, you kind of forget about your feeling.
Is it not the care and adrenaline rush that comes with it?
Probably. And you totally forget about yourself, and you jump onto the wagon and move on, and move on with what you have to do. It's a norm with every health worker, no matter how you are feeling.
The doctors are staying more than they have to stay. Me like this, I'm supposed to close at 2, but 6 o'clock I'm here. I come in the morning, leave here around 6. And we've called people from leave to come and help. So we are overwhelmed. People are coming in. We are trying to do what we can do, but still we need more people to help with the work that we are doing.
How many more people do you need?
Well, in fact, for a shift, we need about 10 people to be on the shift. That's the nursing. But the doctors, I think the doctors will be the best people to answer. Yes.
You're still here on News Today on Joy News on Multi TV. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll tell you the story of the suspected homosexual who has been assaulted. Please stay with us. Welcome back. A man who was severely assaulted in the Nima suburb of Accra on suspicion of homosexuality has filed a complaint at the police. A video of the assault went viral on social media over the weekend. Latif Idris has been to the community and joins me in the studio with the very latest. Latif, sorry to call you Rafiq there, but Latif, welcome to the studio. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Give us more details about this.
Yeah, this happened, like you rightly said, it happened in Nima. Now, I went to the ground, went to a place in Nima called Michigan. That is where this guy lived. This guy, we only know him as Hamza. Now, what I've picked from the ground is that he tried to con one guy called Fusaini in the Nima area.
Where con means get to
yeah, he was trying to, exactly. So Fusaini suspected that, okay, this guy is gay. And in the Nima community, mostly, it's a predominantly Muslim community, and they don't entertain this kind of act. So he reported this to a gang in the community. You see, in Nima, they have these vigilante groups. So he reported this to one of the groups and said, okay, then feign interest in this whole thing. Tell him you are interested. Book a date with him, and then we'll deal with this guy. So that was exactly what happened. Fusaini, in a conversation...
So he lured him to
exactly. He accepted that, okay, I'm also interested. So where should we meet? So they planned and then met, not knowing Fuseni had his gang set up somewhere. As soon as this guy showed up, he was ambushed and was assaulted. He was beaten. Now, this is not the first time. This is actually the second time this has happened. Yes. So when it happened, this guy went straight to the Nima police station to report the assault. Exactly. Now, he didn't...
How severely was he beaten, though?
It's a bit nasty, you know. It's a bit nasty with sticks and cudgels and all of that. You could see the marks on his face, his back, and you know, it was not something that you would want to see. So he went to the police and reported this, but he concealed the fact that he is gay. He reported
left that information
exactly.
out.
But in his own words, he said, I tried to con him according to what we picked from the ground when he went to the police.
But we cannot substantiate his sexuality.
Exactly. But that was the word that he used. In lodging the complaint, he said, I tried conning Fuseni. Where con could also mean, you know, different sort of things. So that's what we know now. Now, the family of this guy are not forthcoming with information. What they are telling the police is different from what is happening. What they are telling the police is that this guy has been sent to his father and is undergoing some treatment. But when I visited the house, you know, they didn't know I speak Hausa. They were speaking in Hausa, and they said they don't want the guy to come out. The guy is inside. They don't want him to come out. Otherwise, the media will be hearing their numbers and all of that. So we now know for a fact that this guy is in Nima, a place called Michigan. Just that the family is trying to protect.
Any word from the police?
Yeah, the police, what we know from the police is that the guy has lodged a complaint. They are waiting for medical report from if the guy should visit the hospital, and I do not know if he's going to visit the hospital or not. What the police is waiting for is...
Do we have an idea of the police beyond the assault case are interested in this claim of homosexuality?
Not yet. Now, what they are interested in to find out is whether the severity of the assault. So they are waiting for medical reports. After that, I'm sure they would want to find out the, you know, sexuality bits of this whole saga.
We'll keep our eyes on that story. Thank you very much, Lateef Idris. You're still here on News Today. We'll take a quick break. Beatrice Edu will come with business.
Welcome to the business segment on News Today on Joy News on Multi TV. My name is Beatrice Edu. In our very first story, prices of petroleum products at some fuel stations have gone up. The marginal increase took effect this morning. My colleague George Afe has more.
This is basically about the Ghana cedi. You know, over the past 2 weeks, the cedi has been depreciating. Now, if you try to do the math, it's gone down by almost 7%. Now, interestingly, on the world market, when you look at the price of diesel, the price of petrol, diesel has gone down by almost 5%. Petrol has done almost 10%. But when you try to do the math, the rate of depreciation has actually cancelled out any marginal decrement that we were expecting. That is why we are seeing the increments really taking place. But again, you have about 90 oil marketing companies.
Exactly.
Now, don't forget that there's some competition going on. Some might keep their price unchanged. Some might also go down. Some also go up. But there's early days yet to give the quantum of increments and all those things. But basically, it's about the Ghana cedi depreciation.
But I'm interested in the margin for the consumers here.
It's quite difficult, Beatrice, because again, that's what I explained earlier on to you about the 90 oil marketing companies, and therefore it might be difficult. But when you look at the modules and you try to do your own projections, diesel could go up by at least 4%. Petrol should stay flat or go up by 2%. But what I want to see that if all other things being equal, prices should go up between 2 to 4%, unless those who might want to keep their price unchanged because of competition, and those who have what it takes to also absorb the shocks and even drop it. Because don't forget, it's a lot of money if you decide to keep it unchanged when all the other variables point to an increment. This time you have no other person to support you like government in the past, where we had the NPA coming in at certain prices. So that's the difficulty there. But all other things being equal, we should look at between 2 to 4% if they want to respond to the current challenges. If not, some will keep prices unchanged. Others will do that marginal increment.
Quite uncertain regarding what the AMC is.
Yeah, already some have already started increasing their prices. Shell, for instance, this morning for petrol, we're doing somewhere around 3 Ghana cedis, 49 pesos. Diesel is a little over, maybe let's just say 3 Ghana cedis.
Meanwhile, some players in the petroleum sector are demanding the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, publishes fuel prices established by oil marketing companies whenever the review is done every 2 weeks. This, according to them, should enable consumers make informed decisions. The Africa Center for Energy Policy is one such institution advocating the publication of new petroleum prices.
Publishing prices by MPA, it doesn't demand much work. Already the OMCs submit their maximum price indicator to the MPA. They should publish it. Why would they withhold that information, which is to help consumers make a decision? I'm saying that every day MPA should have a menu of the prices of all OMCs on their website, so that consumers can go there and find out where can I get lower price product to buy. I even think that as time goes on, they should get it published in the newspapers, in the dailies. And this is why I'm happy that one of the proposals in the regulation is to ask them to publish the prices. If they do that, for the sake of transparency, it will be good for us. But secondly, information is power, and consumers that are equipped with that information can tell where to get lower price products.
President Mahama has said Ghana's energy generation capacity will be increased by 1,800 megawatts. The president at this year's Ghana Journalism Association Awards said there are ongoing works at some thermal and power plant. He said the power project, including 225 megawatts from car power, should contribute to the generation capacity.
In the next several months, we expect the completion of the following projects, which will add about 1,800 megawatts of generation capacity to our national grid. We're talking of the 225 megawatts power from car power plants, and the necessary preparatory works are currently ongoing. We're talking of the 250 megawatts power from the Ameri project in Takrady, which is a build, own, operate, and transfer arrangement, and the civil works are nearing completion. We're talking about the 370 megawatts power from the AXA project, which was recently approved by Parliament before it rose. We're talking about 110 megawatts TEI project, whose commercial contract has also been approved by Parliament. We're talking about another 300 megawatt GE early power project, for which a commercial agreement is currently being reviewed. This is in addition to supply from projects that we have been working on over the last few years. KTPP, which is the generating plant, which is expected to be completed in November and will add 220 megawatts to our generation, and the Asogli plant phase 2, which should add 360 megawatts to our generation by the middle of next year.
And that's all in business on Joy News on Multi TV. My name is Beatrice Edu.
Welcome back to News Today on Joy News on Multi TV. Many women around the world have used the conventional way of delivering during labor. Usually, they have no option than to endure the uncomfortable delivery bench when their babies are due to be born. There is an intervention that promises to offer women in labor some more comfortable delivery choices. This innovation was unveiled at the Shai Osudoku District Hospital in the Greater Accra region, where Martha Krentelakwa reports.
I'm a midwife by profession. And during my training, I was taught that we have a lot of positions used in delivery. But the demonstrated or the method is not there. They just taught us only the lying one. So when I came to the field, I saw that a lot of women will come and they will like to squat or sit. But because we don't have any bed for that, we don't allow them to do it. From there, it motivated me that if I'm able to come out, it is going to help a lot of women to ease their relief, because the women don't have any option than the ones that we have in our facility. So when they come, what we have is what we give them. So because of that, I innovated this so that at the end of the day, when they come, they now have option to choose the position that they want, either to squat, to sit, or to lie.
This is a clear departure of the usual flat on the back pose. Inventor of the birthing chair, Cecilia Mpedu, explains how the chairs work.
And when the baby is coming, the woman will feel to ease herself, and even fecal matter will be coming whilst the baby is also coming. And that is where they will go and put you in a lying position to ease yourself, whilst nobody has ever eased he or herself in a lying position.
So this is how the woman is going to sit. And then there is a handle at the side. So she will hold it here and there. So she will hold it this way and then push the baby out. And it is adjustable too. This is how this one also look like. So the woman will squat. She's squatting. Oh. She can use the upper arm or the lower arm. And then she will squat to push as if she's going to toilet. Nobody has ever lied down in going to toilet before. Has somebody lied down in going to toilet?
She further explained that lying on your back with a full-term baby inside your uterus can put pressure on important blood vessels, possibly compromising blood flow to the baby.
See this lying bed, it cannot be adjusted. You cannot raise it up. So the person has to lie down. And even when he lies down for a long period, the gravid uterus also will press on the major veins that supply oxygen to the baby. So lying down on a long time also will give the baby fetal distress. And when you lie down, the woman use her own energy to push. So if she's pushing, she becomes tired. And if she can't push again, there's no alternative than to send the person to theater for operation. But here, when you squat, the person has control over the method, because when she squats, she has energy to ease the baby out.
The birthing chair enhances baby's rotation and descent in a difficult birth. It is also helpful if one does not feel the urge to push, because it requires less bearing down and reduces incidence of vaginal and perineal tears.
Coming up next is entertainment news.
Entertainment news is brought to you by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Multiple award-winning musician Samini has been rather quiet for some time now, and it is because he's been on tour in the USA. Well, he's back home now and says that he's got lots in store for his fans, and the first he gave was a preview of his new video.
It was great. I mean, the tour was good. We had a lot of experiences out there. It was basically unplugged, and it wasn't like it was bigger than really what we anticipated, but it was all good. It all went out for the better at the end of the day, and it only shows us how bright the future is for the next album coming, titled Breaking News.
Yeah, I was coming to that. So you came back. Is the New Style video, which is set to be premiered tonight on the Breaking News album?
Yeah. New Style is a single off the Breaking News album, and I'm basically looking into bringing a lot of visuals to my fans, because that's been something that they've been pushing me to do for them. So this album, a lot of attention is going into visuals. So Breaking News, watch out for a lot of videos.
Welcome back. A bomb has exploded close to a shrine in the center of the Thai capital, Bangkok. Local reports suggest at least 12 people have died and dozens have been injured. The attack took place close to the Erawan shrine in the capital's central Chidlom district. Well, that's it for news today on Joy News on Multi TV. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. I'm Francisca Kakra-Forson. Thank you very much for your company.